Okay guys, it's been a little while since I did a video, so I thought I'd give you all an update as to where we're up to with the big boat. I know there's been some questions. June, July 2021, we go for a family trip on the Menai Straits with the family. The engine quits, bad day all round, we come in on the kicker. Learnt a lot, especially the capabilities of the kicker motor, very impressed with that. Replace the VST and the inlet manifold on the motor, everything works, have another couple of trips out. March 22, we move house. We do some work on the house, we don't use the boat. Present day, I bring the boat out, I replace the brakes, I replace the bearings, I adjust the hitch, take it for a few drives. 2 weeks ago I take the cover off the boat and mould everywhere. Decks, hatches, everything bone dry, but there's mould everywhere. Where's the moisture getting in? I assume that the flotation foam between the two decks is waterlogged. Cut some holes, no flotation foam. Now we're up to present day. I've cut a big hole in the boat. To be honest, we've had some problems with this boat. I know a lot of you want to say that it's a second-hand boat and what you expect, but it's not just about that. It's I've had a lot of weight in this and I've had it in a lot of weather and it's performed really well, but the last time out was something just didn't feel quite right. We can't access the stringers, and I did notice someone had put a deck hatch up front but not gone all the way through both skins of the boat. I've always wondered about it, I've always wondered why someone would do it, so I decided to investigate. Let's have a look. So as you can see, this is the bottom of the boat. As you get a bit further down, you see actually after removing the foam, it was all around this area, not down here. It was this second skin that gave it half a layer of foam, but I decided to remove that, and looking at it, these stringers seem all right there. I was really impressed, really quite impressed. And then we get to this, and you can see this crack here. And this is what I was worried about. And the more I look at it, the more I get worried. But one thing I am going to have to do is grind this completely out, and it's just such a shame. My biggest fear, well, obviously you can see this here is delaminated from the main hull, and I don't know whether this is majorly structural. I don't know if it's able to be fixed, but I think it's just this stringer that is peeled away. I had a look at this down here. This is the center rib, and go into this cross member, and fear realized this was the top to it. This went on here, or well, doesn't really matter anymore. Went one way or the other, but that certainly doesn't matter. It's it does matter, but it doesn't matter where it went, because it's got to come off. Here we've got some more. And again, I'm dying to know whether it's all the way through. It doesn't look like it's all the way through, but I mean, God, it's bad. I don't want to be the face of doom and gloom, but this could scrap the boat. Is this the outside? I don't know if this is the outside skin. Well, it is the outside skin, but if this puts a hole in the boat, then it's a real bloody shame. That foam in there, that is dry. I can feel it's dry. So it might just be a case of hoovering it all up. I mean, there's flex there, but is that from just this
I'm going to have to push on the outside on the other bit. This here, this feels wet. Not just a little bit wet, I don't know if you can see that. But that's really wet. So, this is going to be the plan. I'm going to get a grinder. I'm going to chop the tops off these. Chop off this. Chop off this. It's only foam sandwich. And then tidy it all up, sand it all down, glass over the top, fill it with resin. But these look like stress cracks. It looks solid to me.
So the problem we of course have now is, now I've seen it, I can't unsee it. I'm going to have to cut two more hatches just like this down in the floor, down here, and see what the state of the stringers are like all the way down, which is a shame, but it's necessary. Anyway, I guess one of the takeaways from these type of things is don't look too deeply if you don't want to know what's happening, but equally you just got to know. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so I've cut a bit further out here. What's this? It's about 30 centimeters all the way along, and the picture sadly is the same. It might not look like it's saturated, but look. That's full of water. Yeah. It's just wet. Which means I just think it's going to be the same picture all the way along. I don't know what else to say, I really don't. You know, without separating the deck completely and redoing it all, you know, we're not going to be able to do that on this. So, we shall see. I need to have a think anyway. Okay, so I've just drilled these 4 holes. 1, 2, there's 2 behind me. We're going to cut along the lines with the angle grinder to chop the floor out. Now, 2 things. 1, this floor is reinforced. It's reinforced here, so that's a good thing. Bad thing is, I just chopped through the hole and this was just lying right there on the floor. Well, underneath in there. And if we squeeze it, full of water. This boat's been covered for 2 years, so it's not looking too good. So let's cut it out and see what we've got. Tomorrow is the big day that seals the fate of this girl, and we are going down to Southampton to GRP repairs. Not for these holes in the deck or this one here, but to have a look and see whether these stringers, now you can see in the light, the foam can be removed. I mean, you can see how wet it is, and whether they can repair it all. What we're hoping for is they come back with a reasonable quote and we can then claim on the insurance. I mean, after all, there has been damage and it's probably come from an impact with the trailer, a sandbank, maybe just a bit of fatigue due to age. I don't really know. We'll find out tomorrow. Anyway, she's all packed up, she's ready to hit the road, so let's see what it is. It's amazing to think that only a month or so ago I bought her back, put her on the drive thinking, yeah, we're gonna have some good times. Took the cover off, complete mold everywhere, and it was that really made me start digging to find out what happened. There had to be quite a lot of moisture somewhere. I did think it was between the decks. I thought we had flotation foam. Thankfully not there, but there obviously is something in between the stringers, so the situation is what it is. We'll see whether this old girl actually makes it past tomorrow. Well guys, we're here, we've made it. We are at GRP Repairs Universal Marina, and it's a pretty slick setup, to be honest. You know, you're looking at all these boats here. I'm not even sure mine fits in here. There's brand new Sea Rays, there's all sorts. Anyway, I'm going to get a couple of hours sleep for a moment and see what we can, well, hopefully we'll get some good news. But what is good to note is the trailer. Obviously that was fine. Did have a few concerns because we haven't used it for a while. But clearly, no concerns needed. Okay, so let's not keep everyone in suspense. We went down there, we got the assessment. It was really interesting actually. They came out, they had a look all over the boat. There's very many stress cracks, stress fractures. Not serious, just through the gel coat. They could fill that, paint all that, that's no problem. With regard to the stringers, certainly they need major work. There's no quick fix. I was hoping there was going to be just a quick fix, but basically the whole of the deck needs to come up, and then they would remove that center stringer and they'd replace the whole thing. There's no way around it. I was thinking that maybe they could just fill it with epoxy and somehow blast out the foam from it, but no, this isn't going to happen like that, so that's the way it is. What is the cost for all this? Well, substantial is the answer. For raising the deck, doing the stringer, and then paint afterwards, that's painting the whole boat. You're looking at about, wait for it, 30,000. What would the boat be worth afterwards? Well, their estimate would be 22,000. These are huge figures, and I've got to get my head round that. I don't really think that's affordable or worth it. I've had a lot of fun with the boat, so moving on from that, what are the options? Well, option one is to get it fixed. That will cost a lot. Yes, GRP Repairs is an A1 company. They deal with super yachts and mega yachts, and I wanted them to look at it. I felt a bit embarrassed about the state of my boat going in there, but there were worse. I wanted someone with the expertise to go through and assess it. Good points, bad points. Good point would be the transom. The transom was solid. Yes, they'd probably put another layer of glass on the inside. That's primarily because I want to increase the horsepower, going from 50 to 150. The boat was only rated for 85, so the stringers, they would increase the size of them. All this can be done, and of course that has the cost associated with it. The second option is we remove all the hardware, the motor, and we sell it, and we scrap the hull. That seems an awful shame. The hull is a classic. Whilst in the UK it might not be well recognised. In the Scandinavian countries, they race these things. So I'm a bit reluctant to scrap it. Option 3 is I read a book and I put in some hard work. They all have pros and cons. Cons are the price of it all. Pros are me doing it. But again, a con for me doing it is the time. I need to sit down and have a think. What I am pleased about is I think I've had someone look at it, and is it worth it? Financially, no. But a boat isn't a financial decision. A boat is very much from the heart. You'd never buy a boat as an investment. So I'm not going to keep anyone any longer. I need to do some thinking. There will be a follow-on video with the decision and where we go. I'm toying with some numbers and playing with things, so yeah, I'm very reluctant to scrap it, so I do think there will be a follow-on. Anyway, take care. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, thumbs up if you like it. I hope this isn't too depressing. It's not meant to be. It's actually meant to be just very realistic. Anyway guys, take care. See you in the next one.